Hey Derby World, well, we are out here at the Northwest Washington Fair, and this is day number 2, so we already filmed day number 1. There was some really good action on the track. Hopefully those videos will be posted by the time you're seeing this one. But yeah, this is day number 2, so we got a pretty good lineup as well. We got 4 heats that are going to be running tonight, some really good stout cars in all this. We've got full-size cars, compacts, minivans, which is the first time they've ever ran minivans out here, and then the full-size trucks. So we're just going to kind of walk through the lineup here, show you guys some of the vehicles that there are to see. This looks like a newer model Impala. Pretty stock, if you ask me, for the way that he's built this compared to some of the other cars, but I guess we'll find out. Maybe I'm completely mistaken by that, so I apologize if so. And then we've got the compacts here. So this is a Camaro. We ran a Camaro, the 83, way back when. But if you look at, when you see the rear wheel drives, they all have V8s out here. They're not working with the little 4 cylinders and small 6 cylinders like we run back home. They're putting big V8s in them, and you'll see a couple Mustangs here in a second. Pretty clean car. I mean, that thing seems pretty good. This Mustang's got a little rust in the back, but yeah, V8s in compacts. And you got the front wheel drive, they're just running the same stock engines, nothing particularly fancy about those. We're going to kind of walk through the lineup here, give everybody a chance to show off what they've got. And if you recognize any of these cars or whatever, give a shout out in the comments. Always appreciate who's watching, checking this stuff out. This is first Camry I've seen out here, so everything's Camrys back home, feels like. It was W bodies, now people moved on to Camrys. Got a Camry wagon. So pretty similar to how we would probably build it back home. And then we got a full-size truck here. So they've got what they call the best, like a prettiest car or best paint contest. What they do is they pull them all out on the track and vote for the best. But before that, they will pull these out, and then they let a bunch of the kids and their parents come out on the track and actually go up to the vehicles, touch them, feel them, check them out, and see if they're, you know, they can ask the drivers questions, anything else. I think it was really cool. If there's a way that other fairs can do that, I think it would be really cool to get people interested in the sport, because they don't get to get up close to this stuff. Can't tell if this is a Tahoe or Suburban. Ah, Lincoln Continental. Look at this. 2-door. Man. Okay, 2-door. Interesting. Wow. I think I actually captured this one yesterday. Officially going to get it on the track tonight.
Done? Oh yeah.
Now we probably did a whole tech talk on this car. You'll have to check it out on Track Shots Facebook. But
What were the bolts at?
76 Cadillac Seville, not a DeVille. It's a slightly smaller version, but it came with its factory leaf. And they're pretty rare and hard to come by these days. But yeah, you have to check out Track Shots page for that. Let's keep on moving up here through these compacts here real quick, and we'll go back to the start of the next lineup. Now they did run a figure 8 race yesterday, so some of these cars they ran last night in the figure 8, and now they're bringing them back to actually be able to derby them tonight.
No, but somebody slapped that on too.
So you'll notice a few little things different than how we do things back home. They put the big C channel on the outside of the vehicle to protect the driver. They do it on both sides. It's kind of an older school thing, but most of them have them done like that. Some of them put them on the inside, but you know, keeps everybody safe that way. All right, let's get to the next line. All right, so this lineup is the full-size cars. We've already shown a few of them in the best paint lineup that's over there. It's the same style as the build rules that they had last night. Not the chain and go, but the, I think they call it full weld or something like that.
So you run this before you run that one? Yeah.
Back and back.
Yeah. So you get back here and you get
A little bit of mixture of new and old iron. See a lot more newer iron today. So here's the van lineup. Now this is their first time running vans, so it'll be an eye-opening experience, I think, for these guys when they realize how hard these things actually hit. Everybody's kind of like, really? But no, seriously. When you go back to back, van to van, you're gonna feel it. And I honestly was more sore running my minivan than I was running that Super Duty, which is saying something. Now, one thing I find interesting that they do run out here that's unique for this location is they call it like a head buster bar or whatever, but it's a bar that runs right behind the driver's seat. They do that on, I think they require it on all these, for especially the vans. They have to have some kind of bar behind the seat in order to protect the driver. Is their idea to keep your seat from being able to break. A lot of people back home will run ratchet straps. They certainly are doing that here too, but they have to add a bar there just to keep the seat from being able to bust and break and then hurt the driver, which we've seen unfortunately from time to time where things like that break. So it's just a different flavor of doing it. I like the idea and premise behind it. So these guys don't seem to mind it. So maybe it's something to think about. Now they're allowed to basically just run street tires, but they could do a different bumper than the cage, move the tank and battery inside, and that's about it. So pretty stock, honestly, in the world of things, but they're definitely not your just street stock class either. That's some good tires right there. I think those are rally tires. Alright, but that's the last of the vans in the lineup. We're going to go and get the full-size trucks next. So here's the class I am most excited about, the full-size trucks. And looks like they can do quite a bit to it. They can get them pitched back, get the front ends good and high. I do find their front bumpers interesting. I'll just leave it at that. You know, every place has their own flavor of how they like to do it. A number of these guys replaced them all with square tubing. I don't know if that's a mandatory rule, but that's certainly what a lot of them are doing instead of running some kind of a prefabbed aftermarket bumper. And they tend to be more narrow. Now this one right here is kind of seems more in line with what I'm used to seeing some of the more modified trucks back home, minus the cage obviously, but I think it's going to be good either way. Every single one of these guys said they're going to tear it up, so I believe them. Like the last of the full-size trucks here, we got a Dodge. Alright, so I think there might be a few other vehicles still back in the pits, but at this point pretty much everybody's supposed to be in the lineup. We're starting the driver's meeting in about half an hour or so, but this is Alex from Washington. If you will have each individual heat up online, and until the next video, we'll talk to you later.